Do you like mage builds, Tarnished?
No?
Yeah, neither do we. However, intelligence builds are much more interesting. Those are the builds where you upgrade intelligence.
Duh.
In order to use intelligence-based stuff.
Duh.
Because actual pure mage builds are kind of whack, to be honest. But today, we're going to explore what quite possibly could be the strongest intelligence-based thing in the game. So meet the new DLC Ash of War called Carian Sovereignty, or as we like to call it, Big Magic Sword. Carian Sovereignty is a new Ash of War obtained in the shadow of the Erdtree DLC, found inside a cave near the Cathedral of Manus Mater. It's magic affinity Ash of War, meaning that you'll only be able to infuse these types of affinities to the weapon you choose. But trust me, you won't need anything else. The Ash of War is a direct upgrade of Carian Grandeur, which does a huge magic sword vertical slash in front of you. The spell is chargeable and has the capability of dealing tons of damage. In a similar fashion, Carian Sovereignty does the exact same thing. But it has one additional horizontal slash that makes it a complete game changer. And why is this a game changer, you ask? Because you can actually hit a human being with it.
Fight!
You see, the biggest disadvantage of Carian Grandeur is the fact that it's extremely easy to dodge. People can either simply walk backwards or roll to the side whenever they see the attack charging. The thing is, it's very hard to distinguish if the caster is casting either Carian Grandeur or Carian Sovereignty. The difference is this little extra beam that Carian Sovereignty has. But it may be hard to notice that in the heat of the moment. So people who are familiar with Carian Grandeur will most likely try to punish you after dodging the first slash. And boy, oh boy, what a surprise they're getting. Although it may look simple enough, there are actually quite a few variants to have in mind when employing this Ash of War. First of all, the types of weapons that can use the Ash of War are daggers, straight swords, great swords, curved swords, katanas, twin blades, thrusting swords, heavy thrusting swords, light great swords, curved great swords, and great katanas. You may be tempted to simply choose your favorite weapon class and simply roll with it, thinking that the Ash of War is equally good with all of them. However, this is not true. Depending on what weapon type you choose, the Ash of War will grant the user different amounts of extra poise, which could be considered hyper armor. The weapon classes that give the most are the great swords, curved swords, and heavy thrusting swords for a total of 118 extra poise. While the lowest one, the daggers, give a mere 22 extra poise. At the very least, the damage is not affected by the weapon type. This means that even if you use a dagger or a greatsword, the damage of the Ash of War will remain the same as long as the conditions of both weapons are the same. The damage is determined by your intelligence, your weapon upgrade, and the weapon affinity, which in this case, it would be magic. As you may have noticed by the hitbox of the attack is a two-parter. After the slash, a wave of magic lunges forward, dealing additional damage. This means that hitting the enemy point blank will deal full damage, while hitting them only with the beam will deal half damage. Lucky for you, this full damage that we speak of is a guaranteed one-shot on whoever is unlucky enough to get brutalized by it. All of the previous quirks combined are what make this Ash of War so lethal. It's sneaky due to the second slash, it's sturdy thanks to the hyper armor, and it hits harder than a drunken stepdad thanks to the chargeability of it. But do you know how to build it? Well, if you don't, pay attention to our intelligence expert.
I've already told you this many times. I refuse to teach Carian shit.
Oh, so you're also refusing your paycheck then, right?
Alright, let's make this quick before I barf. First of all, if you want to deal the highest damage possible, you need to infuse your weapon of choice with the magic affinity. There is no bargaining terrain. You want to one-shot people? Then go magic. We'll be looking at a level 150 vagabond with 55 vigor, 30 endurance, 19 strength, 18 dexterity, 80 intelligence, and 12 faith. There are quite a few reasons for this stat spread, the most obvious one being that we need high intelligence to deal more damage with the Ash of War. But the strength and dexterity are there to have a more varied loadout of weapons, particularly Moonveil, and a Swyhander with Waves of Darkness. This is because, well, this shit is basically a knowledge check.
A what?
A knowledge check is a move that can be abused against people that don't know how to directly stop it, or in the case of Carian Sovereignty, they don't know what it does. To put it simply, it is highly unlikely that you're going to hit someone who's aware of the gimmick. You have to be an absolute mouth breather to get hit by something so incredibly telegraphed.
Fight back! Fight back!
But lucky for you, Elden Ring's player base is what it is. So in those cases where you do find people that are aware that they have to roll twice instead of monkey mashing like apes, it is safe to have alternatives to safely continue fighting instead of completely depending on Carian Sovereignty. This is also why the Ash of War performs much better on invasions rather than duels. The chaotic nature of invasions incentivizes people to be way more reckless than in regular one-on-one combat, making it much easier to spray their faces with your magic juices. In case you're in a 1 versus 1 and your opponent is not a drooling baboon, one nice strategy is to purposely fail only one slash to make the enemy think that you have Carian grandeur, and then do the gimmick. You may catch some poor goober off guard. To increase the damage of the Ash of War by the utmost, we recommend using the Shard of Alexander with the Godfrey icon. You're going to need to tank hits to pull it off, so wearing heavy armor with the Bullgoat talisman will give you enough poise to withstand most attacks. Just don't try to tank colossal weapons because it doesn't work. And status effects can interrupt your Carian coitus attempt as well. In your Flask of Wondrous Physic, the Magic Shrouding Cracked Tear is mandatory, while your second Crystal Tear can either be the Crimson Bubble Tear or the Opaline Hard Tear. And, well, that's pretty much it. You just gotta pray that your opponent is stupid enough to eat this thing with a side of Carian penis. It's a very fun build, but not the strongest out there. Good enough to cheese unsuspecting goobers, which, lucky for you, are the vast majority of Elden gamers.
Having low vigor sucks. But do you know what doesn't suck? Mystery thingy. The mystery thingy of our last video was the Velvet Sword of Saint Trina. Big congrats to the little velvet revolvers who answer correctly. Here's the new mystery thingy for today, which you can answer in the comments below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe if you enjoyed Little Teapot. Remember to eat some fruit today and we'll see each other on our next video thingy. Bye.